This is Calabria, the closest coastline to Sicily at the toe of the boot of the Italian mainland. Bordered by Basilicata in the north and the Mediterranean on three sides, Calabria is a landscape with a breathtaking coastline and soaring mountains that form its rocky, rugged heart. Many wars have been waged on this land, as well as devastating natural disasters. Adam hops into Lui in Reggio Calabria and travels north to Tropea. He meets Pepe, who challenges him to a cook-off, finds an onion that is protected, and discovers that the local pasta is made with what looks like a knitting needle.
This is my pilgrimage. Come share the journey with me. Calabria, being one of the poorer regions here in the south side of Italy, was unable to get its hands on the traded pasta from Naples and Sicily. So what they do? They came up with their own homemade alternatives. These homemade alternatives were cooked with local ingredients that could grow in this somewhat challenging region.
Located an hour and a half from Reggio Calabria is the tiny town of Tropea. It's largely a tourist town that has many attractions on offer.
For me, it's always about the food. So the first place I'm heading to is a local trattoria to try some typical Tropea cuisine.
Maria gives Adam fritters made with the famous Tropea onions.
These onion fritters are really crunchy. The onion itself is red in colour, and you know what? They're quite sweet, the onion. I'm here in the sweet red onion fields of Tropea, and these red onions are unique to this area. If you were to grow these onions 20 k's away, they would taste totally different. And would you believe that this unique red onion is protected by an IGP board here in Tropea? That's quite amazing.
Adam catches up with Antonio, the president of the Tropea Onion Growers Association.
Antonio, can you tell me a bit about the history and why they're so unique to the region of Tropea?
The history of the onion is well documented and can be traced back to its introduction by the Phoenicians from present-day Lebanon around 2,000 years ago. These famous red onions are grown in an area which stretches in both directions along the coast from Tropea. Pliny the Elder, in his Naturalis Historia, lists 30 ailments which can be treated by onions.
Thank you, Presidente, for telling me a lot more about this beautiful sweet red onion. Grazie.
Grazie a voi.
The Tropea onion's medicinal properties seem to be many, but it's what it's cooked with that Adam's interested in.
That pasta's really interesting. It's nice and long, it's curly. It's definitely a fresh pasta. And I hear around here they roll the fresh pasta dough over a knitting needle, which they call a ferretto. Calabrian people weren't always able to get their hands on skilled-made artisan pasta. So what they do, they created their own pasta shapes. And today, I'm with Anna Lucia, who's going to teach me some traditional Calabrian pasta shapes. Ciao, Anna.
Hi, Adam.
Can you please tell me a little bit about what ingredients goes into the pasta?
Yes, the flours dura,
Yes.
flours soft, and
Water.
water.
So Anna's just basically mixing it all together, bringing the water and the flours together. And a little bit of an action like this, just with her fingers, manipulating it and bringing it together, the pasta.
Vuoi fare tu adesso?
Sì. Finally, I get my shot.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. And then we're rolling it out with the palm of her hand. And then she's rolling the pasta dough over the furetto just to make these long shapes. It's a real art, you know. She's being very gentle with that pasta. She's not working it too hard so it separates and breaks. Wow.
Vuoi fare?
You see? I want to give it a go. I'll get my hands dirty. Get in there.
Okay.
Okay. Buono, non c'è male.
It's good, it's good.
It's good, she tells me. Not too bad. Okay. Anna, what other shapes can we make pasta? What's the name? Che dice il nome?
Ricci di donna, e i capelli.
Anna said it's curly hair pasta. That's very interesting. Have a look at that. Can we make some, please?
Yes.
After the break, all is revealed when the pasta marries the sauce. Okay, so now it's back to the kitchen, but later, Adam takes on a serious Calabrian challenge.
So again, over the furetto, the pasta just manipulated over. Ricci donna. Look at that. Try.
Yeah.
At the top.
Giro.
So nice and slowly, I'm separate.
Oh. Hello, fantastic.
Anna, it's not off yet.
Fantastic, guarda.
Oh no, Anna, now it's stuck. I haven't got it off yet.
Oh.
Oh, I squashed it. Maybe I'll try again.
No.
Oh, not too bad. Poi, Anna, we cook the pasta. For how long we cook the pasta?
5 minuti.
5 minutes. Okay. Bring it over. Boiling water, obviously, with a good handful of salt, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay, the pasta is cooked now. It's risen to the top of the water. Have a look at that. Anna, sugo, please.
Yes.
So Anna's made a beautiful, rich sugo with sausage in it. Io mangiare.
Yes.
As I want to try. I can't wait.
It's good.
Anna, grazie a tutti.
Grazie a te, grazie a te.
Thank you so much. That's a pasta that I'll never forget. So simple, very tasty, and traditional Calabrese food.
Thank you, very, very friendly.
Despite the beauty of its shoreline, much of the population of Calabria had for centuries lived in the mountains away from the coast. This was as a result of the fear of disease, pirates, and foreign invaders.
This isolation and uncertainty breeds culinary invention. And where there's a shortage of ingredients, people use everything that's available.
Adam visits a Calabrese chef, Pepe, whose aunt started a restaurant in her home.
Bianchetti or whitebait is a small fish no bigger than your finger. Something that's even too small for bait, but for the Calabrese, it's a delicacy.
Adam is keen to try the family's whitebait fritters.
Pepe, can you tell me a bit more about your restaurant and why you're a chef?
Before, this was the house of my zia. For me, is the first love, the cooking, no?
Yeah. Zia is a big passion to why he's a chef, and kind of reminds me of my nonna, how she was a big part of why I'm a chef also. But Pepe, please tell me, how do we make this dish, bianchetti fritti?
It's simple.
So in with the water, a decent amount of water in there.
Please, for me.
Okay. So I'm just adding in the flour.
Come on.
5, eh?
Stop.
Okay. And Chef Pepe is basically just working it all the time with a whisk to get all the lumps out.
Stop. Okay.
Stop? Okay. Good handful of parsley.
Prezzemolo.
Oh, this is the richness I can tell to the dish. Ah, just a little bit, poco.
Little bit. pepper and cheese.
Okay.
Now bianchetti.
And mix it all together.
Yes.
Wow.
Next, cooking in oil.
Yes. So just
Yes, it's okay.
Pepper, just checking. You dropped a little bit of the batter in there just to see if they pop up to the top, so it's nice and hot. Oh, look at that. How long we cook?
5 minutes.
And you know what? This has given me some thoughts about a recipe for making my own bianchetti frittis. And maybe after, I'll show you my version of this. What do you think? I cook bianchetti fritti alla australiana.
Alla calabrese.
He's telling me it's not Aussie, it's Calabria style. Wow, look at that. Oh, the texture of them, you can tell them crispy, the little bianchetti, these little white bait are starting to pop out. Wow. So what Pepper just said to me, look at his fritters, they're nice and crunchy on the outside, and then when you open it, it's packed full of flavor, you know, really simply, just flour, some water, the bianchetti, parmesan, seasoning, and fried like that. How about I show you how to make frittis all'australiana, and then we'll take them out in the restaurant and see what the customers think.
Fritti alla calabrese, fritti.
No, australiana. I'll teach you.
Calabrese questi.
You know what? I'll teach you Australiana style. All right, mate?
Okay.
Adam talks the talk, but do his Australian fritters walk the walk? Before the break, Adam challenged Pepe to a fritter cook-off. I don't fancy his chances.
Okay.
Now it's time that I show you fritti alla canguro Adamo.
Oh, ora vediamo.
So let's get into it. My difference is I'm using an egg in my recipe. You help me? Come on, chef. All right, mix and mix. Pepper, good amount of pepper. Salt, just a little bit for now. I'm adding lemon zest. I want to give it a nice, fresh, clean, zesty taste. What happens is when you use zest in anything that you're frying, it takes away the oiliness in your palate. So this is a really good trick here. Lemon, huh?
Lemon.
Sparkling water too. Some parsley. I really love this. The garlic, oil with the parsley again. Wow, that's Australiana, wow! Some parmesan. Bianchetti. Not solo, nice and soft. Okay, time to cook. And in with the mix. But I want to spread it out like a big pancake. It needs to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Then we'll flip it over, get it nice and golden brown, and then it's time to finish off my fritti alla canguro Adamo. Okay, Pepe, it looks nice and golden on the outside. There we go. Look at that, beautiful golden color, crispiness. It's gonna take another 3 minutes, I reckon, just to finish it off, cook it nice and evenly. And then we're gonna finish with some arugula. Rocket. Okay, let's bring it over. Put it on here for me, just to drain off all that oil. Beautiful, just for a minute. I'm using the rest of the lemon to dress my rocket. Little olive oil into the middle, chef. We take it out to the customers and see what they think, and they can tell me it's good or bad.
Ottimo, buono.
Molto buono.
Molto molto buono.
Ottimo.
8.
8.
9. 9.
10.
I'd like to thank all the guests that come to Pepe's restaurant today, enjoying my food, and a big grande salute to Pepe.
Ciao, grazie.
So thank you very much. It's been, I think this will be one of those food moments that I'll never forget in my life. And thank you for enjoying my fritti alla australiana canguro tutti. With a combination of courage, determination, the ever-present love for the family, the Calabrese have withstood thousands of years of oppression, struggle and hardship. This community is full of warm and enchanting people, and its spectacular coastline and wondrous mountains have bred innovative and delicious recipes.
With the knowledge that he's gathered from his journey, Adam prepares a dish that celebrates Calabria. For the full list of ingredients and method, visit adamspastapilgrimage.com.
If you're anything like me and time poor and don't have the opportunity to make fresh pasta, this recipe's for you. I'm making casarecce with onion, chili and pancetta. The first step to this recipe is to dice up our pancetta. Put your pan on a low heat. You don't want it too hot because we want to render out all the beautiful fat and flavour in that pancetta nice and slowly, which makes the basis to our sauce. Into the pan. Just a small splash of olive oil to start it off with. The tropea onion has its own very sweet, distinctive taste, and if you can't get your hands on them, a red Spanish onion is fine. Only tip I say is to make sure that you cook the onion out really well. So just taking off the top and bottom, like so. Always remove, I call it the heart of the onion. We remove the heart because it takes the longest to cook and also has the more bitterness to it. In with the onions, a touch of salt. What the salt does, it helps break down the onions and speeds up their cooking process and also seasons the dish. Now, what would be a Calabrian-inspired pasta dish without chili? So one nice long chili. I'm gonna leave the seeds in. I really want that fieriness to it. I want it to be quite pungent and, you know, fiery on the tongue. I can feel the heat from the pan already on my eyes. It's starting to make me cry. I don't know if it's the onions or the chili. Woo. But definitely it's going to pack some punch later on. Now that needs a good 8 minutes. Whilst that's cooking away, we're going to get our casarecce into the pot. Good pinch of salt. Don't forget to give your pasta a stir when you drop it into the water, just making sure that all that beautiful casarecce separates and cooks nice and evenly. Pepper. So I can see my onions are starting to wilt down and collapse. They're starting to change colour as well. And what's going to happen next is that sweetness is going to come out of the onion. Need to add some butter. Don't be shy. And some chicken stock. Pasta's perfect. Into the pan. Now if your onions and your pancetta mix has reduced down a little bit too much and you're thinking there's not enough liquid in there, great tip is use some of that pasta water. All that flavour from the fantastic pasta helps you bring back your sauce. Some parsley. And what's a plate of pasta without some cheese? And this one, pecorino. Lots of pecorino. What it does, enriches the sauce, brings it all together. And there we have it. Casarecce with chili, pancetta, and those wonderful onions. I gotta try this one and see how fiery it is. It's got some serious kick, but it pays true homage to Calabria. The next part of my journey gets me out of these rugged mountains to a place of wealth, opulence and unparalleled beauty, Tuscany.
For this episode's recipes, stories and more, visit adamspastapilgrimage.com.